Welcome back, everybody, to the Kansas City Royals franchise here on MLB The Show 21. In this episode, guys, we have a minor league update for you, as well as some trade deadline propositions that all of you guys get to vote on this time. So I'm actually looking forward to that towards the end of the video. I've got 5 options that you can look towards and vote on to see which one you like best. Majority will rule, and that will be the trade that gets processed. All right, so here we are. We are taking over the Northwest Arkansas Naturals. There's a couple players that we want to watch out for here. 2 custom prospects, namely Brady Urker is a left fielder / middle infielder. So you got to watch out for him. Plus Isaac Lopez is a third baseman, good power type of hitter. So we're going to take a look at these guys here in this update. We're also going to get a AAA update with the Omaha Storm Chasers as well. And we got 2 games on tap here for you guys today. So here's Isaac Lopez already with a 1-0 lead. He's going to lift the fly ball out here to right. That's not going to get the job done, but let's look out for Isaac Lopez a little bit later on in this game. So a couple not custom prospects you guys will take a notice of would be Brooks Ratto, would be our #1 draft pick from last season, and Sean Santana, 2.49 ERA, 1.11 WHIP. He's doing really well, guys. Doing really well, especially for a youngster of his age. Like, I think he's got the makings of a pretty solid pitcher here at the big league level. Eventually, he's not ready quite yet. So we see a triple here. That's going to be all the way to the wall. Right fielder just dove for it, tried to make something happen, but unfortunately just didn't get the job done. So it's a 1-out triple. Then we got this ball lifted out to center field. Wow, that's a great play by the center fielder there. Throws to second base, try to find the cutoff man there, probably make the easiest throw, but it will be 1-1. Eric Tam's coming up hitting 248. It's going to send a little ground ball here to Isaac Lopez, who makes the running throw to first, and we remain tied 1-1. So Sean Santana probably could have pitched a little bit better in the first inning, you know, outside of the defensive aggressiveness out there in right field, leading to that triple. Here's Brooks Ratto, first-round draft pick from last season's draft. He's going to strike out. Not hitting too well at all, guys, so he's been all power and no contact. But we knew this coming into it. He's got like 30-some-odd contact, pretty good power numbers, so we'll have to see if that contact comes around a little bit. But here's Brady Urker. He's all contact, no power. Maybe just a little bit less of power. But here's Robert Poisson. Look at this throw all the way across the diamond, but not in time. Tams just couldn't get that big body to stretch just enough. So here's Isaac Lopez with 2 down in the top of the third. This is going to be a base knock. That will be an RBI. It's going to be 2-1 Naturals. Nice to see a custom prospect come through this time. Take a look at Isaac Lopez. I love this guy. He should be a player here down the line here for this Royals franchise. Bottom of the third inning, and we've got a solo home run here for Nick Allen, his 5th on the season. Brady Urker knew it was gone, too. He was out there in left field just looking up, and he's like, yep, that one's pretty much destroyed. Sean Santana having a tough time with the extra base hits. He's literally only led them to 2 earned runs against him. But it's just been like the 1 swings that have hurt him. That triple and then now the solo home run. Now take a look here at Brooks Ratto. We talked about his batting average not being too well, but he's at least delivered against Brian Howard here with a 12-pitch at-bat. This is going to lead to a strikeout anyway. Brady Urker here in the top of the 4th allows his runner to get into second base with a stolen base. And here's Urker sending a ground ball up to Poisson. He's going to make the play at first, and Urker is retired. So we've got fly ball to left, and that's going to be caught for the 3rd out. So unfortunately, we can't get anything done in that half of the inning with runners on base. All right, here's Isaac Lopez lifting a little fly ball to right. He likes that right side of things, I've noticed. So we got to try to pull the ball a little bit more for him to try to get some more power. I feel like he's got the power. Probably should be focused on that. But Berman's going to strike out here. That's going to be the first K for Sean Santana. And this little ground ball, I thought there was 1 down. I thought there was 1 down. We were shooting for the double play here. But here's a nice little flip from short over to first, and that is going to end the 7th inning. Sean Santana still out there. Here's a ground ball to Poisson. We talked about his defense all game long, and he's continuing it here in the top of the 8th inning. The sliding play, got to get back up and make the throw across the diamond. That's a pretty play. And then he's going to catch this one on the line for the 2nd out in the 8th. Here's Isaac Lopez again. Fastball inside, a little sinker inside, I should say, but Poisson is there in shallow outfield grass to make the play. All right, here's a ground ball to Lopez. Lopez is going to fire it over to first, make the play. So Santana's actually still out there, guys. Take a look at his pitch count. He's at 65 right now. Lopez, nice little easy flip over to first, making the second out of the inning. Santana still pitching well, still kind of in that groove. He's going to be coming out here for the 9th inning. Now we need some runs. Brooks Ratto, 1-2 count. Let's see if we can deliver. Brooks Ratto. What a spot for a solo home run to take the lead with 2 down, no less. 3-2 Naturals, his first home run of the second half for the regular season. And what a spot to do it. It's pumped up, baby. I'd be pumped up too, man. Awesome job. Thank you, Brooks Ratto. Thank you, man. Yes. 3-2. Let's get this dub now. Guys in the dugout are absolutely loving it. Let's take a look one more time at that swing. Look at that. Just majestic. 105 exit velo. Launch angles solid. 460-foot shot. Awesome job there by Brooks Ratto. Just raw power, baby. All right, a little slider here to Brady Erker. He's going to ground out to third baseman, and that is going to do it. But, man, the big hit here by Ratto is going to get us on the board and taking the lead here. So, bottom of the 9th, ground ball right past Isaac Lopez. I feel like that one's got to be had. So, Lopez, I'm putting that one on you, man. That one's got to be had. But, hey, we probably need to be making a better decision here as a manager to take our boy out of here. Now, Brady Erker misplays the ball in left field. Throw does come on in, but it's not going to be in time. That is going to be a tie ball game. Bottom 9-2. And that's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Eric Tams, the veteran, gets it done against Sean Santana, the youngster. Now, Grant Gavin comes in and walks the next batter. That's not the worst thing in the world because now you have a double play opportunity. Little ground ball right past Isaac Lopez. Here comes Brady Erker. Got to get the throw into home. It is not going to be in time, and Eric Tams scores. And this game is going to go down as a loss here for the Natural. Means comes through with the RBI hit, the walk-off, and the Rockhounds get the W. So the Oakland Athletics farm system, of course, their team, their affiliates down here at the AA level. That's unfortunate, man. You know, I'm going to put that one on my shoulders. I know that Isaac Lopez probably should have had the first hit that went past him. Maybe you could argue the second one there as he was diving. But you got to get Sean Santana out of the game in that situation. Don't rely on your rookie or your youngster like that to go a complete game. You know, in some spots maybe you can, but in a tight ball game like that one, probably would have been best to go with the bullpen. But a loss is a loss is a loss. And you move on and you learn from it. All right, let's go out here to the Storm Chasers. Omaha taking on the Louisville Bats, the Cincinnati Reds affiliate down here in AAA. We got Cade Cavalli, whose ERA is not very good right now. He's in the 5s. If we can pitch a good game with him and try to knock that down a little bit, getting strikeouts left and right, that's what Cade Cavalli does. You guys saw his statistics there, over 100 strikeouts and 35 walks. So it's not like he's pitching badly, I wouldn't say, but it's the runners in scoring position that have got him as part of the Achilles heel for Cade Cavalli. We see a throw coming in here. That's going to score the runner. Yandy Diaz with a little looping single. That's going to score the run. We do get another strikeout. That's 2 strikeouts here in this top of the first inning. Let's see. Tyler Stevenson is going to line drive this thing right back to Eric Mejia, but he's going to make the nice play there, and that is going to retire Louisville. All right, we're going up against Brandon Bailey. So Cavalli against Bailey. Mejia's going to get on with a walk, a leadoff walk. That's a good sign. So we've got Edward Olivares here now up in the number 2 slot. He's going to get a single. Now I've got something cooking here with runners on first and second with nobody down. Down 1-0. Here's Bobby Witt. Just can't hold off on the pitch low and away. You got to be able to do that, and we might be in a better situation. We might have tied the ball game up with a single. But either way, this is going to be a fly ball out here to right field, and then we got Mejia, who's going to take off from second to third on a tag up. Now we got runners on the corners, and then Evan Mendoza, acquired from the St. Louis Cardinals, is going to ground out here to second base, and that is going to do it for Omaha. Now we turn it over here to Cade Cavalli. Got to get the job done. He's going to strike out his first man here for strikeout number 3. This is going to end the second inning with another strikeout. So Cade Cavalli again pitching well with the strikeouts, but again, the runner to score was just off of a little seeing eye single, man. Just right down the line. Kind of sucks. So we got a job to do, but take a look here. Nick Pratto, big time home run. 2-run shot, just going to sneak itself over top of the wall. Pratto's 4th home run in the AAA season. And that's going to give us the lead here, 2-1. Let's go to the top of the 5th inning. We get another strikeout here by Cade Cavalli. That is number 5 on the game. Let's go 0-2 count. Strike 3 again. He's just pumping that fastball right by, guys. He's got 6 strikeouts in the game. Let's go to the bottom of the 5th as Louisville can't get the job done with that runner on base that we saw in the last half of the inning. We do get a nice base hit here by Eric Mejia after Sammy Infante can't come through with a hit of his own. So we've got a runner on first base. That's Mejia taking off. He's going to slide in safely. Good job by Edward Olivares not to swing at that pitch high and outside. Probably could have cost Mejia a stolen base. So he gets another pitch to hit. Pretty much the same location, but he's going to fly out here to center fielder, and that's going to do it for the bottom of the 5th. Let's go to the top of the 6th. Again, Cade Cavalli blowing the fastball right by hitters. That's 7 strikeouts in the game. Little looping fly ball out there to right field. That's going to be made. That play's going to be made. Here's Sammy Infante in the bottom of the 7th. He's going to get drilled by Carson Fulmer. He takes off for second. Mejia swings and misses, and it's still going to be a 2-1 game. So we did make a pitching change. This is going to be Austin Cox, the lefty. Olivares makes a nice running grab out there in center field. Top of the 8th, here's still. Alejo Lopez is going to strike out. That's a nice pitch, man. That's a really nice pitch by Cox. Pumps the fist. Little fly ball out here to right, and Cox does a job. Austin Cox, good job. Nick Pratto, 2-1 game, hit that 2-run home run. He's been all of our offense so far today. He's going to lift a long, deep fly ball to center field, giving chase. Leap at the wall. That one's way gone. Solo home run for Nick Pratto, his 5th on the season, 415 feet, and that was a big-time hit for the Storm Chasers. We get some insurance there. It's now 3-1, and Richard Lovelady coming on out with 29 opportunities and 26 saves to his name. He's been pitching fairly automatic. Let's go here to the top of the 9th with 1 down, and Evan Mendoza says, let's leap for joy because it looks like we're going to get a win. Yes, I did that on purpose for you guys, for your entertainment. 2-2 count, little ground ball here to short. That play is going to be made by Bobby Witt, and the game is over. So, the Omaha Storm Chasers get a win, even though their AA brethren could not. So we go 1-1 in gameplay. Unfortunately, there's no Kansas City Royals gameplay here today because it is a minor league update only, and we're also going to be talking about trades and trade deadline moves in this episode. So I guess you could say there is a little bit of gameplay, but we're not actually getting into a game with the Kansas City Royals, guys. So up on your screen, you see the standings here really quick, just kind of running through this really fast. Just kind of get you guys an idea, a little prepper about teams that we want to target for trade opportunities. I don't like trading within the division unless it totally makes sense, so that's not something that we're going to consider this year, is trading within the Central. We will be considering trading with the bottom tier teams in the AL and the NL. So the Orioles, the Blue Jays, the Phillies, maybe the Marlins, just teams that are pretty much just out of the playoff mix as it is. There's no reason to be really messing with team identities and really taking advantage of the trading system within MLB The Show. At least the trade logic is just, they said it was fixed and updated this season, but I don't really see it. There's still some goofy stuff here that's happening with one-for-one trades that just don't make a lot of sense. And the trades that I do come up with for you guys here today to vote on are going to be fairly realistic. I can understand if you guys feel like some of these might be a little bit cheesy, but I tried my best not to make them that way. Try to make them realistic in the sense that we're not going to be, going after huge players for little to nobody, no prospects, so to speak. So, guys, up on your screen, take a look here. The Rangers have actually acquired Douglas Taylor for Jose Trevino. So remember, Douglas Taylor was a custom prospect, a patron prospect no less, and he gets moved on from the Red Sox over to the Texas Rangers. So another couple of trades here you see up on your screen. We don't have another custom prospect getting moved on from like that, but just some trades to note, like Joey Bart going from the Giants over here to another team. I thought that was interesting. Carlos Herrera for Julio Teheran, I should say, excuse me. Padres acquired Matt Olson. Yeah, I mean, it's been a pretty active trade season, a lot more active than it had been in year number 1, that's for dang sure. But I thought that trade was interesting. Now the Rangers pretty much have 2 custom prospects, Miles Hendricks, a starting pitcher, and then they've got Douglas Taylor, a first baseman. So the Rangers might be one of your guys' favorite teams going forward in this series. And, you know, we actually might be having a little bit of bad blood with those Texas Rangers once they start getting better and once we start, you know, possibly playing against them for playoff seeding here down the road in a couple seasons. But right now, they're not really there quite yet. They've still got a lot of things to work on with their own organization, trying to get younger and get better and be able to compete at a higher level. So up on your screen, guys, we're going to be running through some prospects like Jackson Sane, Brennan Moffitt, just kind of giving you guys a little bit of update on your players. We got Peter DeWolf hitting .412 out there in AAA for the Knights, for the White Sox organization. Kerry Coleman still down there at the single A level. He'll probably get called up eventually. He's a pretty solid player as it is right now. Credence Wood, a 61C. So making sure that you guys know that just because you're down in single A doesn't mean anything bad's going to happen to you, right? You're 19 years old, you got a 61 overall, C potential, you're going to be fine. It's just a matter of when, not a matter of if you're ever going to do it, right? So you'll get there, just hang in there, you guys will be fine. JJ Blake, you got Sunny Days, a pitcher for the Diamondbacks. Noah Fritz, at the AAA level, just getting called up over there. Doesn't have any stats to go off quite yet. And then Sergio Alvarado, not a custom player, but the number 1 overall draft pick in last season's draft for the Rangers. And then Miles Hendricks, take a look at this guy. 1.46 ERA since getting called up. He's been pitching really, really well. We got D.D. Cooper Kochman at the AA level. DeCoulis Carter, Lucas Lowe. I love these players, guys. I really like what the effort that she put in to helping make these guys. We got Lucas Borgonia for the Twins, and then of course you got Isaac Lopez and Brady Urquhart. So let's talk about some trades. With our minor league update out of the way, take a look at the batting average here. We're top 3 across the major leagues. 299, 297, 274. Merrifield, Perez, Baez. I mean, this offense is crazy good. Look at the at-bats. First, 3,500. We have over 100, maybe even 50, at least 50 more at-bats than the Baltimore Orioles. It just kind of shows you how good that this offense has been all season long. Now, take a look at the runs. We're top 10 with 455. The hits are second across the major league. Doubles, we are currently tied for 13th, so we're middle of the road in doubles. Triples, I would assume we're middle of the road as well. No, actually, we're way down there. So tied for 24, so we got to get a little more speed there. But home runs, tied, well, third. Yankees and Rays are actually tied for first. But we're currently 7 home runs behind the Yankees. So it's kind of a close race there between first, second, and third. But, you know, Javi Baez with 25, Perez with 16, Soler with 18. There's a bunch of other players there in the double digits for us. I mean, guys, this offense is just clicking on all cylinders, man. Firing all cylinders. Stolen bases, 4th. So not only can we hit the ball with power, we can run on the base pass really, really well. Let's take a look at our pitching numbers. And ERA, we're 10th. Paxton, 3.46, 3.52, 4.08. I think that number for Singer can go down, but it's interesting to note that the 2 veteran pieces that we acquired in the free agents of last offseason are actually our best pitchers compared to what Brady Singer's doing. So saves tied for 4th. So our pitching is not doing too bad. So I'm going to do something a little bit different this time around for the Royals franchise. Guys, I love community involvement, and I want you guys to be involved in the trade discussions. So like I've done it with other series in the past, you guys get to vote on, you know, do you like this trade? 60% rules, that's the trade that's going to process, so on and so forth. Well, that's when we're dealing with big leagues, right? So That's a little different than just one team, right? So here's how we're going to do this. In the trade offers that I come up with, we've already had our minor league update, kind of got an idea of what these minor league players are doing. We're in a playoff chase. Normally what happens in real life is when you're in a playoff chase, you're not going after, a role type of player, right? You're looking for something that's really going to set you over the top. You're in a buyer's market, so to speak. I think the Royals, with where we're at with our roster, with Mondesi, Baez, Dozier's playing well, Merrifield, Ryan O'Hearn's taking the next step, Perez, you've got a solid pitching staff across the board. I think we're ready to make some splash type of deals. Now, is it going to be limited to one deal? I think I'm probably going to try to limit myself to one deal. And what you're going to see in the Google form is you're going to see an opportunity for you guys to vote on which trade that you liked the best. So up on your screen here, we're talking about trying to acquire a pitcher, John Means. Now, playing for Baltimore the last 5 seasons of his career, he has only had 2 winning records, 12-11, 10-9. So he's literally just on the cusp of a 500 record or a sub 500 record his entire career in Baltimore. Let's face the facts, Baltimore hasn't been very good since John Means has been a starting pitcher in Baltimore. Could we use a guy like this? I say yes. Look at the number of earned runs compared to runs. So only 2 runs have scored off John Means as far as errors are concerned. Not a lot of home runs given up, all things considered. It is Camden Yards. I mean, it's a tough ballpark to pitch in. Very offensive heavy out there. Coming over to Kaufman, it might be a little bit less offensive. So he actually might be better for us in the long term. He's 28, right? We could probably re-sign him. He's on a 1-year deal right now. We could probably re-sign him, and he could be a mainstay for this Kansas City Royals pitching staff. Now, think about it this way, too. James Paxton, a veteran lefty presence. He's probably going to be retiring here pretty soon. And Paxton is also, he's kind of old, right? He's above 30 some odd in his age. Let's take a look at what his age is. He's 33, right? So we've actually signed him till 2023. So we got him this year and we got him next year. Next season will be his last year. I can promise you that. I'm not looking to re-sign James Paxton after 23. So if we can kind of replace James Paxton with John Means, by all means, let's do it. And, honestly, this type of move with Jason Guzman, I could easily cheese this and say Nick Lofton. But, when you're trying to go after a player like John Means, the Orioles are going to be asking for a little bit more than that, right? So Jason Guzman, he's kind of my guy to go for. He's 22, B69. He can be a good player for the Orioles down the line. And then, of course, when we're talking about a starting pitcher, trying to replace John Means, is Foster Griffin going to do that? Probably not. But they're also getting Jason Guzman as probably the 1A and 1B of this trade. So in the Google form, if you guys like this trade, make sure you're clicking on the button and then hitting submit for John Means. Let's talk about the other trades up on the board. Another trade that I like, and it's kind of disheartening to me a little bit, but Ryan McBroom is involved in this trade for Mike Yastrzemski. Now, why are we wanting to acquire Mike Yastrzemski? Well, when we take a look at his numbers here, he's 31 years old, $1.4 million, so he's not breaking the bank this season. Would he break the bank next year? Probably, but I think we have enough room in our salary to make that happen. He's got a couple home runs, 14s, never been in the single digits in his entire career. Hitting .230, I think we can kind of go a little bit cheaper on Mike Yastrzemski. He's got 91 games under his belt so far this season, 76 hits, 19 doubles. He's already on pace to have a career year in doubles. 14 home runs. I don't know if he's going to reach the 2021 number in simulation for this franchise series. The speed is not great, 56, but neither is any of our outfielders outside of Michael Taylor. So we're kind of slow out there in the outfield. What Yastrzemski would do is, I've seen a lot of people in the comment section talk about how we need another power bat in this lineup. And that's what Mike Yastrzemski would allow us to do. Is he a better fielder out there than Hunter Dozier? I'd probably say yes. Let's take a look here. 81 fielding, arm at 53, accuracy 77, and 85 reactions. So probably the biggest things for me would be 81 fielding and 85 reaction. So let's go ahead and take a look over here at Hunter Dozier's numbers. 69 fielding, 69 reaction. Right? The arm, Hunter Dozier's got a better arm. Accuracy, Mike Yastrzemski's got him beat. I think Yastrzemski had a 77 accuracy. Yeah, 77 accuracy. But the arm strength is a little bit concerning there out in right field. So maybe we might need to shift Yaz over there to left field and put Benintendi out there in right. So maybe even put Tyler Naquin out there in right field as well. So having a stronger arm out there in right. So there's a lot of things you can mix and match. There's a lot of things you can do. He's another left-handed bat in the lineup. I like this trade. I think that this one kind of makes sense. I mean, take a look what the Giants would get if you're worried about cheesing. This is what the Giants would get. They're getting Ryan McBroom at 28. He's actually the highest potential of all their first basemen. He's a 73 with room to grow. He can be that guy next to Pavin Smith, right? Pavin Smith is a left-handed bat. McBroom is a right-handed bat. They could possibly have a little platoon going on there at first base once Brandon Belt is pretty much on the downswing. 198 this season. I think that he's trending that way. So they definitely value Ryan McBroom in this trade. And because, again, Yastrzemski's going to be a rental player for us this season with the possibility that we can't re-sign him, you don't want to just totally come out here and break the bank. Now, what are we going to do at first base if this trade does go through? Well, the quick and easy fix at what we would do is we would actually shift over Hanser Alberto, who hits righty. He's been playing against lefties anyway. He's got the 99 contact, 92 vision. Look at the bunting. He'd be a perfect number 8 hitter against lefties, maybe even a number 2. You shift Javi Baez down to maybe 5, right? So number 3 hitter would be Witt, number 4 hitter Salvi. You kind of keep that middle of the order going. I think that that's probably a pretty good trade, right? You know, Ryan O'Hearn's going to be hitting against righties as it is. He's a lefty against righty, so he's still platooning. And then you get Hanser Alberto sliding in. That just helps the offense out. Plus, again, you get Mike Yastrzemski. That's definitely going to help the offense out big time. Now, this one's a little bit weird, and I can kind of understand if you guys don't vote for this one. I'm just going to say that right off the bat. So it's a little bit strange, but I want to give you guys the option. But kind of what my thoughts are here is if right field still becomes an issue for us, you could move Whit Merrifield out there to right. The speed is at 71, the arm's at 53. Maybe you even put Whit Merrifield at left, and like I said, move Naquin over to right. So if right field is still an issue with Hunter Dozier, you know, at least you can keep Whit Merrifield in the lineup if you acquire a Ke'Bryan Hayes. Now, what we do about second base is you could put Nicky Lopez in at second at some points. You could put, let's say, you can move Javi Baez back over to short. You can even put Javi Baez at second base, so the accuracy that he's got as a 54 at third base, what he's playing with right now. That arm strength is good at 99, man. So, you know, he's going to get the ball over to first base from third or short pretty easily. The problem is the accuracy. So if we take a look at some of his statistics here, he actually has only 5 errors. He's got 5 errors at third with a 9.71. So he's not necessarily getting a ton of opportunities over there at third, but a 9.71, I feel like if you moved him over to second, you're not causing a net drain on your pitching staff, right? So I think defensively, this would really help us out, the Ke'Bryan Hayes type of trade. You know, Ke'Bryan Hayes could move over to third base. I mean, that's really all he plays. 88 reaction. He's a better defender. I'd probably say he's a better overall type of defender than Javi Baez is. That might be a hot take. Maybe not in real life. I don't know where I really stand on the real life thing. I'd have to do more research on it. But as far as an MLB The Show and ratings, aspect is concerned, the accuracy, the arm strength, the fielding, the reaction, I think when you compile all that together, I think probably Ke'Bryan Hayes is probably better for us at third than Javi Baez is at third for us. Take a look at the errors. He's got nothing. Zilch over at third base, the hot corner. He's currently eligible for a contract renewal. He's got arbitration coming up as well. He probably wants to get the heck out of here. He probably wants to get the heck out of Pittsburgh. I think it might make sense. The contact numbers are good. The speed's good. I mean, what's not to like about Ke'Bryan Hayes inside this lineup, right? So again, in this trade, you would probably be moving Merrifield to right, basically pushing Hunter Dozier down to a bench role, and then pushing Ke'Bryan Hayes to third. You could do some things with Mondesi and Baez, determining which one do you want at second or which one do you want at short. This is a pretty cool option in my opinion. I think that this trade might do us some good. Now, what am I giving up here, right? So what am I giving up? I'm forgetting to even add in the fact that we're trying to acquire Jesse Biddle, who is a left-hander. So if we can't get John Means, might as well try to get a lefty, a veteran lefty, right? Biddle's been in the league for a little while. He's at a 4.02 right now, but he can at least get us something out of that bullpen. And, I've given Chance Adams some opportunities for us in 10 games, 6.62. It just wasn't working out for us. I didn't feel like I could pitch well with him. And I think, with how much simming that we do, I think that this type of trade, it's hard to give up, man. It's hard to give up, but you're getting Ke'Bryan Hayes. You got to give up something to get something, right? He's 7-5 at the AAA level, 307, 132, 116 Ks, 55 walks. He's pitching well, and he's progressing. He's going on up. But take a look at the Pirates pitching staff right now as it is. So Perdomo, Honeywell Jr., B, 25. He's not going to progress as fast as Chance Adams. Quinn Priester's pretty solid, man. I think he's already up in the... No, he's still down there with the Indians. You got Mitch Keller. So, yeah, he's going to be one of their best pitchers coming over. So I think he would just immediately just slide right in and be one of, if not one of the top 5 starters in the rotation. Really good power numbers for a 22-year-old. So he's got some raw power. Those are probably the 2 chips that Pittsburgh would probably want to go after. Plus, when you look at this, like, Matthias is going to slide in right behind Gregory Polanco, and Polanco's getting older. So this trade makes sense to me. You're throwing in Ben Hernandez as well, just kind of a throw in here. But he's a 20-year-old, C potential 66. That's kind of hard to get rid of, too. He's going to progress decently, but he's only got 3 pitches: a circle change, 2-seamer, curve. That doesn't really work for me. 4th trade up on the board for tier number 1. This trade, we're giving up a lot. I feel like we are giving up quite a bit. So Michael Taylor is going to go bye-bye. And the reason for this is that he's hitting 202, and he's not cutting it offensively for me. So I'm really starting to lean towards Tyler Naquin as being kind of my guy here. He's rated lower than Michael Taylor, but that doesn't mean that the production hasn't been there, right? 320 batting average, 6 homers, 17 ribbies. Limited playing time right now, 48 games that he's played. So he's really splitting some time, playing against righties. Taylor's been trying to play against the lefties, but he's been hurt for a little while. You got Soler out here, and then of course you got Benintendi, you got Hunter Dozier taking some time out there in the outfield. So Michael Taylor in this trade is going to go bye-bye because we're trying to go out here and acquire Ramon Laureano. So this is another trade that we're trying to address what you guys thought might be a good idea, is trying to get a guy that would be good at hitting the ball out of the ballpark, right? Contact against lefties in 82, 72, 81. A lot of power for Laureano and a really, really awesome defender. He's just awesome. He's an awesome defender, right? So look at the quirks right there. I mean, I like Ramon Laureano as one of my favorite players. I think that this trade would be awesome if we could go get him. He's got that A potential. So this would be a huge get for us. But you know what? I noticed something. He's hitting 185 this season. 238 last year in the show simulation that we had. 31 doubles, though. 26 homers. So he had a career season in MLB The Show simulation during 2021. So in year one of this series. So it's not like the sim hates him. He's just having a really tough season right now. So maybe possibly in real life, if a team saw this, or like the Oakland A's saw this, and they're looking at Laureano as, he's on a $2 million contract. He's headed for arbitration. Would they want to go play Moneyball and try to trade him away, right? So what would they get back? They'd get a Michael Taylor type, right? Being Michael Taylor. $4.5 million. Yeah, they're acquiring some more of our total salary, right? So they've got 3.4 here. They're actually plus 1.6 on us right now. So 5 million that we're shifting over to them. They're giving us 3.4 of it. We're shedding our salary by $1.6 million in this trade. But I think what they see in this offer is that Michael Taylor will give them good defense. They'll give them some pretty decent offensive output. It's not like, you are losing quite a bit in the power category there, but defensively, you're taking a hit there just a touch, but he does give you some speed, gives you a little bit more speed at 69. He's a solid little player. But the big thing here is Eric Mejia. This is a tough one for me to get rid of. Really, really tough, because I like how Eric Mejia has this utility type of game to him. And plus, he's progressing really nicely. And at 26 years old, he plays good defense. And at 26, it's just like, man, it's just really hard to let him go. But, again, if you're going to acquire something, you got to get rid of something too. You got to let something go. But you're also throwing in Austin Cox, a lefty, who's progressing nicely, 66 overall player, 3.21, 1.16, and a 5-9 record at AAA. It's not like he's playing too badly. And then we're also going to try to acquire JB, big old JB, 242, 6'1". And you guys can see his numbers here. He's got 14 holds, 281, 109. He'd be a nice back end as a setup guy. So we're not totally always relying on Josh Stelmont. We can go here with JB. I think this is a solid trade. I think it helps both teams. Oakland's in last place as well. They're not playing well, and they've got a lot of things going on for them with 1-year contracts and guys like reaching that prime stage where they're going to want to either dish out the big bucks or they're going to want to literally just explode it, right? Blow it up, restart. Matt Chapman's a 95. He's going to be asking more than that 8.1 for sure. They're on the verge of really like blowing this thing up possibly. So I think it's a good trade. I think it's a good opportunity for the Royals to get better defensively and to really shore that up, because I know we've been talking about it for last few episodes, at least for this season, how defensively our outfield it could get a little bit better. So Laureano can do that. He can give us some power. He can have a resurgence in the second half from hitting 185. I think the trade makes sense. So you guys got a couple tier 1 options already up on the board. You got John Means, Yastrzemski, Cabrian Hayes, and Ramon Laureano. So the final trade for tier 1 options, guys. Remember, you can vote on one trade of the top 5. So the tier 1, you can only vote on one of them. If you vote on one of these tier 1s, there's going to be tier 2 type of trades for like just basically depth type of players that if you are interested in that, you can go ahead and vote for those. That one's not required, but let's say we do go out here and we acquire Marco Gonzalez. If you guys voted on this trade and it wins, then we could have the option. Then I do have the option to go through those tier 2 options and pull off all these other little depth type of moves. So that's kind of how that whole thing works. But take a look at this offer. And again, so we're acquiring a starting pitcher, a lefty, and we are getting rid of Jason Guzman again. So he was a part of the Orioles trade for John Means. And then we're also getting rid of Kelvin Gutierrez, a 67, 27-year-old third baseman. And he doesn't really fall into what they're trying to do here. But again, it just kind of gives them some more depth there in their farm system, which that's pretty much what Kelvin Gutierrez is amounting to. And then, of course, with Kyle Isbell, I know that a lot of people here in Kansas City, they really like themselves some Kyle Isbell. And I just think that they kind of need a guy like that. They kind of need another outfielder here that's pretty young, right? So, you know, they'd be looking at Kyle Isbell to kind of really work into that role eventually. They've got Albert Amora here at 27, Nick Heath at 28, so they're a little bit on the older side. In the outfield, you got Kyle Lewis, who's going to be here for a long time. You got Kelenic there, who's going to be a mainstay for Seattle. And then with right field, Haniger might be on his way out. Who knows? Eaton, definitely going to be retiring here soon. Maybe he's got three more seasons left. But Julio Rodriguez, they're really banking on. But Kyle Isbell, just more of a depth type of player. He can progress pretty, you know, he's a normal, basically like in Madden terms, he's a normal dev at a C potential. And he can play all three outfield spots. He's a solid player, but the big key cog here would be Jason Guzman, right? A shortstop at 22B. And, you know, you got Marte, you got Siegel. But really, when you're looking at this, it's basically, it's a battle between Marte or Jason Guzman. Like, who's going to win that battle eventually down the line? And if you're the Mariners, why wouldn't you try to go get something from Marco Gonzalez, right? And he's under contract too, by the way, guys. 2 years of 4. So we got 2 more seasons of Marco Gonzalez. We basically get him for 22, 23, and 24. He does go up in salary, but as a 30-year-old pitcher, yeah, Seattle would be looking at this like, okay, we're not doing very well. And you're 30 years old, you're only going to start regressing, so you might as well try to go out and get something, some young pieces, and maybe we can turn you into depth pieces like Guzman, Isbell, Gutierrez, really help out the farm system. So like I said, guys, this type of trade is a tier 2 type of trade, so you have the option to vote for the tier 1, and then if you feel the need, you can vote for this tier 2 option. So what this is doing here, Edward Olivares for Tyler Mahle. So that kind of gives you the choice, you know, say we're going after a pitcher. If Yastrzemski is the vote or Laureano is the vote, like we're acquiring an outfielder in this sense, then Edward Olivares would be the kind of the guy that moves on out, because we do have Eric Pena, who's 5 points lower and 8 years younger. And we can take a look at his numbers here. Remember this, 50, 48, 47, 42. Take a look at how he compares with Edward Olivares. So obviously Olivares is definitely blowing him out of the water here with the contact rating, 60-65. But he's 8 years older. So do I think that Pena can get to that level? If we manage him correctly, I think we can. But look at the power numbers, 47-42. Compared to 53-47. So if anything, Pena might actually have more power potential than Edward Olivares does at 26. We're trying to go out and trying to get another starting pitcher, right? So this would be a tier 2 type of trade. So theoretically, you could get John Means and you could get Tyler Mahle in 2 trades. And I think that would, that really seriously bolster that rotation and that bullpen. So we'd have to, again, have some conversations on what we want to do with the starting rotation if we did acquire a Means or a Tyler Mahle. So, yeah, Mahle's pitching solid, man, especially at Great American Ballpark. 15 homers, 386. Only 4 quality starts, though. That's kind of concerning, but this is why it's a tier 2 type of trade. And it's not like we're going out here and getting Luis Castillo, right, for Edward Olivares. We're not doing that craziness. So trade kind of makes sense. You're basically swapping some players that might need a change of scenery. Reds aren't playing well either, so this trade makes sense to me as a tier 2 type of option. So the next deal we're going to look at is for a hitter. So we were literally just looking at the pitcher for the Reds, right? So Tyler Mahle is a tier 2. Now we're going to look at the next tier 2 option, which would be a hitter. And we've already talked about some outfield. I think that's really the only position that we really need to focus on is adding another outfielder to the mix. Infield, we've got it pretty much locked down, guys. I mean, Hunter Dozier can play in the infield. You've got McBroom. You've got O'Hearn. You've got a lot of options there in the infield with Baez, Mondesi, Nicky Lopez. I mean, it goes on and on and on. So we don't need to focus on an infielder to take anybody's job or be a depth option, right? So I'm looking at the Phillies. They're 49-49, and they're not making the playoffs. They're 7.5 games back. in the wild card chase, I believe. I think I read that right. So let's take a look here. So they are, yeah, they're 7.5 games back in the wild card race at the deadline. So they're probably not making the playoffs. The next option here would be Roman Quinn. He has 71 power against lefties. He can hit switch. He's a good bunter, a very good bunter. 92 arm, 97 speed. Think Jared Dyson, but with more power on one side of the batter's box, right? 136 he's hitting right now, so he's not even playing that much. He's played in 20 games, and he's a 75 overall player, probably because of the bunting and the defense and the speed. But I mean, I like me some Roman Quinn. I think that he would be a nice tier 2 type of option. So if we want to go get John Means, right? If we want to go get a starting pitcher, you could technically say, okay, let's get our starting pitcher and then let's vote for a guy like Roman Quinn. And it's just tough because both these guys totally just do different things, right? I like the option for Adam Haseley because he can be such a clutch hitter for us. But if I'm being honest with you, I think the option here would be to get Roman Quinn. Because like I showed you guys in the statistics, our stolen base rating is one of the top 5. I think we need more options coming off the bench for us, and we need more speed in the outfield. And I think Roman Quinn would be a good defensive replacement out there just simply because of his speed. There's been so many times in gameplay where we've gotten a little red circle that we need to dive for it. Well, with a guy that's got 97 speed, I don't think we're going to get in those situations very often. So Roman Quinn might be a really good option for us to come off the bench, lay down a bunt, get a guy in scoring position, get Salvi up, right? Get the clutch hit. I think Quinn would be a guy that gives us a little bit more. You can almost guarantee that a bunt is going to be laid down with that 98 rating. He's basically Mondesi out in the outfield. That's what I'm trying to say. So I like me some Roman Quinn. Haseley I'm a fan of, but again, you know, he's more well-rounded, but I think Quinn can give us a little bit more something. Now, what are we going to give up? Well, they look like they want another outfielder, and I quite frankly don't want to give up Edward Olivares for Roman Quinn. I don't think that type of trade makes a lot of sense. So let's take a look at some pitchers, and maybe like Chad Kuhl. Perfect. Does Chad Kuhl even help him? 29 years old, 72. I mean, he slides in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he'd be one of their top 7 pitchers under control. Want to make some more room for Mickey Moniak, 23 years old, coming up. Got Matt Vierling, Cornelius Randolph is young. So maybe that's what they want to do. I mean, Quinn's 28. Again, he doesn't offer too much for this team other than speed and bunting. So maybe that's a good trade for them. I don't know, but yeah, Chad Kuhl's not involved in any other offers. So what do you guys like for tier 1s and tier 2s? So that is actually going to do it for the episode, guys. Leave a like if you like this thing. I will see you in the next one where we will be covering what trades went through, which ones didn't. And of course, guys, as you know, in the pinned comment, you'll find the link for the trade voting options. It's a Google form, so I'm pretty sure you have to sign into your Google account in order to make a vote. And just let me know in the comment section too, like what you voted for, because basically you can spread your influence onto other voters in the comment section. So if you think you like a certain trade over the other, post in the comment section below which ones did you like, which ones didn't you like. Really try to sway the opinion of the public, and maybe you might be able to get your vote as the winner. If you feel really passionate about the ones you voted for, then yeah, you'll definitely do that to make sure that these Royals get the players that you guys wanted, right? So I will see you in the next one, guys. We'll cover which trades went through. We'll actually cover the end of the season. Yeah, I'm going to be pushing through this thing pretty quickly. So year 2 will end in the next episode of the Royals series, and then we'll move into the playoffs. If we made the playoffs, of course, as you guys know, I can't move forward. I don't know what's going to happen. I can't move forward until the trades are voted on. So we'll see what happens, guys. So leave a like if you like this thing. I'll see you in the next one. As always, thank you for watching, and peace.